All right, I've just written on the board that essays equal hierarchical thinking. Hierarchical, um, adjective meaning hierarchy. Uh, you know, King of England has princes who work under him, then each prince has dukes that work under him. That's a hierarchy. The military is a hierarchy. The mob is a hierarchy. There's one godfather, then he has like mob lieutenants working for him. Then each lieutenant has made men working for him. Then each made man has goons working for him. Essays are hierarchical thinking. I've already said the thesis is the sun of your solar system. There's only one thesis. It's the big boss, all right? Okay? It's the king of the jungle. I like to say that theses are like lions, okay? There's one. It controls everything. Under the thesis are topic sentences. Okay, some of you guys know that phrase, you've heard it before. Maybe there's 2, 3, or 4 of those. They're pretty big ideas, not as big as the thesis, but they're pretty big ideas, and they definitely work for and support the thesis. And I like to say that topic sentences are like cougars. Not as big and fearsome as lions, but a cougar could really kick your butt. And then working for the topic sentences, directly under them are arguments. And arguments, are like lynxes or tabby cats. Maybe they could eat your pet dog, and maybe they could rip your leg off, but they're probably not going to kill you. You have arguments, which work for topic sentences, which work for the thesis in a structured hierarchy. Okay? So I like to say lions, cougars, lynxes. They're all the same animal. They're all your ideas, and they're all working together to explore the same idea, but they have different strengths and different power and different gravity. Theses, topics, and arguments, they're all your ideas. The thing is, what happens if you have a couple arguments in your essay that aren't working for this guy? And they're just kind of doing their own thing and lollygagging. And then sometimes they go visit this guy, and then they go off the clock, and they're just kind of reading a magazine in the break room. Well, their boss is going to get pissed, and then maybe he's not selling enough products, so this little boss is going to get yelled at, so then the regional manager is going to yell at this boss, and all hell breaks loose. You want to make sure that your thesis is strong enough to control your topic sentences, and they're strong enough to control your arguments, so that you have a disciplined, organized essay. You get one lazy argument in there, or things get all fuzzy and out of focus, your corporation's going to lose all their money, your mob is going to end up in a chaotic civil war and a mob war, or the lions are going to eat each other, and you don't want to see that. Essay writing is hierarchical thinking. Make sure your ideas are working for each other to explore one big idea, so that all that energy is being conducted and focused towards one source, and you don't have electricity crackling out and just wasting out into the world. Essay writing is hierarchical thinking. All right, on to a new topic now. That was a joke, topic sentences. So we've talked about the overall kind of structures of essays and how our thesis is going to help control our organization. And I know I am throwing a lot at you. So you can always rewatch these videos, you can always email me, or even refer to the supplemental handouts, which explain this in plainer English. First of all, I want to look at a paragraph. Okay, we've talked about the bigger organization of essays, and essays are pretty much made from paragraphs. So let's look at a paragraph. This is the Taco Bell paragraph, the one you're going to be doing some exercises on later this week. You'll notice that I blacked out the topic sentence and the transitive summative sentence. I want you guys to always think of your paragraphs like this, okay? There's always meat in the middle, and then there's always two very special separate sentences. The topic sentence and either a transitive, transitive or summative. So I like to say that paragraphs are like cheeseburgers. You know, it has the bread, and the meat. And frankly, if you think of the essay structure that I drew in the last video of intro, body, conclusion, it kind of also looks like a cheeseburger. So this explodes out to lots of little cheeseburgers. So really, if you think about thinking like an essayist and writing like an essayist, it's essentially cheeseburgers within cheeseburgers. That's what essay writing is. Or like the Russian nesting dolls. It's a littler idea and a bigger idea and the biggest idea over and over and over again. Let's talk about topic sentences a second. They have two jobs. I already said in the last video that topic sentences work for the thesis, and that's their first job. A topic sentence must support the thesis. If your thesis support the thesis. If your thesis is about turtles and your very first sentence of your very first body paragraph says, "I like pizza," it's not supporting the thesis. The Godfather's going to have that guy whacked. He has to work for the thesis. All right? The second job of a topic sentence is to control the paragraph. You know, that symbol means paragraph. The topic sentence not only needs to say, "Hey, I'm working for my boss," look up. It also say, "Hey, you guys down there, stay in line." So a topic sentence is like a middle manager. He or she can kind of get it both ways. He's got to make sure he's working for the big man, but he's also got to make sure that the people working for him are doing their jobs. Topic sentences are really hard to write. I actually advise you, as you're writing your essays and as you're typing, rough writing and composing and going through the process of writing, I always just kind of write gibberish or even just leave X's at the beginning of a new paragraph because I don't know what the main idea of this paragraph is going to be about yet. And then I start to write the paragraph and I go, "Oh yeah, in this paragraph I'm kind of talking about I like pizza." And so then I'll go ahead and add this later. I like pizza. Because that's what your topic sentence has to do. In one succinct sentence, it has to make sure that it controls the paragraph's aboutness. It gets to the main point of this whole thing. Cool? The last sentence of a paragraph either just echoes the topic sentence. It sums it back up, right? It makes a summary of what you just read. And that's pretty much easy, breezy, beautiful, cover girl. If you can sum up the main point of your paragraph in the summative, you're doing your job. But if you're a rock star and you want to take the next step into awesome, you write a transitive sentence. Transitive sentences is like pivoting in basketball. You take one step back. This paragraph was about green. And then you take one step forward. The next paragraph is going to be about blue. And then the next topic sentence would be blue. Okay? That's a transitive sentence. So transitive takes one step back and one step forward, whereas a summative is just exactly equal to the topic. It just sums it back up again. You can do that one or that one, but you have to do one of the two. You need that second piece of bread on the bottom of a paragraph, or else what? You know, you're going to get mustard on your jeans if you don't have, you know, a second piece of bread on the bottom of your ham sandwich, and nobody wants that. So here's how a paragraph looks. And so when you're doing this Taco Bell paragraph, you're going to read this. And there's lots of little arguments in here. Like we talked about last time, there's lots of little linkses, lots of little tabby cats. And they're all working for the cougar up here. So as you read it, oh, this person's talking about fast food and obesity and marketing. Huh. What is one sentence that sums up all of those ideas, that controls all of the little ideas in the paragraph? I want you guys to practice that in this exercise. I do not need you to write a transitive or summative. You know, we'll get to that later. But I do want you to read this paragraph and try to figure out what's one sentence that controls all that's going on in here. So some quick hints on how to do that. All right, I just erased the board. Some quick hints on how to do that is, first of all, try to find arguments, declarative sentences, places where the writer is saying, I believe this. So as you read the paragraph, try to underline or circle sentences that you feel are arguments. Then, see if you can group any of the arguments together. Are some of them similar? Is something about marketing similar to obesity, or something about Taco Bell similar to, bad habits? See if there's any similar ideas that work together. Because what I'm asking you to do is like reverse create a topic sentence. So you're going to have these arguments, and they're like, a branch, and a branch, and a branch. And right now, these three marks don't seem related. And you've got to go deeper. What is the root that actually connects all three of those? And that's the topic sentence. You want to go to the deeper idea that unifies what seems to be ideas that don't necessarily group together. All right? So good luck working on this paragraph. It's going to go a lot of work forward into you writing your very first paragraph assignment
in this class.
and then clearly when you write paragraphs for every essay over the course of this quarter. Good luck.